speakers prevail and thrive in an economy, have a full calendar today, while others are struggling just to merely stay afloat? Marilyn, why don't we start with you?
I think that it's follow up, and that's pretty simple, but it's creating the personal relationships, and it's being in front of the speaker on a really regular basis. I mean, the website is one thing, but it's, for me, I would say it's personal phone calls, it's personal emails, it's not the blasts. And I feel that it's a reason I've prevailed is because I have hundreds of personal relationships, but it's taken a huge amount of time and a lot of giving. And that would be the thing I think why people will prevail is because there's loyalty. I mean, I would say we figure 92% is repeat, and that's really a high degree of loyalty. But it's because I spend lots of hours, free time, following up continually.
It is my belief that as great as it is to be a speaker, in times like these, you should recognize that you are subject matter experts. You have expertise. Speaking is one way to share it. I think you should be the best speaker you can be. However, you can bring value as a facilitator, in many cases as a trainer, as a coach, as a consultant. If you're there for your clients, you'll creatively look with them at what it is that they need. I'm reviewing my fee schedule and realizing that I need to create ways that they can retain me that work with their budgets and work with their time frames. But I'm okay with that. I just see myself as a tool to assist them, and if it's all about results, then I leave it up to them how they want to utilize me, and one often leads to another. So that's a strategy that has worked for me.
And that's very true. Years ago, I realized by listening to my clients, they would tell me what they wanted to pay me to do. And when someone said, and fortunately it was 10 or 11 years ago, I liked your speech, but I loved how you did it. Could you teach our salespeople to speak that way? Because it takes us a year to have an hour appointment, and it's worth $9 million a year, and we're losing business because the presentation skills of the competitors are better. And when I suddenly realized this is a client who's booked me to keynote conventions, I'm getting the same fee to talk to 6 people around a boardroom table. So NSA has been very wise. We are experts who speak, but we're experts who speak, consult, coach, and we can deliver our message in person and over the internet with webinars, teleseminars. Now, the one thing about being a dinosaur is when you have young friends, like Tom Drews, for example, has really helped Jim Prost and myself learn how to deliver fabulous webinars. And more clients without travel budgets want the information. So you have to be flexible, you have to be an expert, and just as with Marilyn, I am letting my clients know, you've built a lot of chits. You've given me a lot of money in the past. You want to run something by me? I'm coaching a client for a couple of hours on Monday on the phone because he paid me enough the last couple of years. It's an IOU because they are hurting, some of them, more than we are.
I think you're hearing a common theme, which is listen to your audience. They will tell you what they want. When I first started, I thought they wanted to hear about motivation and all that great stuff, but that's not what they wanted to hear from me. They kept saying, but do you speak on diversity? Over and over and over. And I said, no, I don't speak on diversity. I'm 5th generation Chinese American. What the heck do I know about diversity? But eventually it sunk in and I had to learn a lot. I guess I did know some about diversity, but that's what they gave me credibility to speak on. So listen to your audiences. If you've got to, get out there and speak for free and then pick their brains and ask them, what do you need from me right now in this economy to help you?
So the question I want to ask is, the people who hire us, what is it that they really want from us in these times of uncertainty?
So, competence and relevance.
Okay.
Immediately usable information, stuff that they can take out and use the minute they leave your program. They don't want fluff, they want immediately usable information.
Yeah, to add to that, they really want us to be experts, and they want us to have fresh, original expert ideas. So again, like you were saying, Michael, in positioning the diversity, since my training was trained as a psychologist, so they want to know what does what does someone with that training say, and they don't want me to hold back my opinions. I think they look to us for answers, and what you were saying, Michael, what can they apply the next day to their challenge or their situation?
I would encourage you to turn your passive listeners of content into active participants. Anything that you teach, don't expect them on Monday morning to try and figure out, how do I implement that now? Don't let them leave the room until you know that they know what it is that you've taught them or what it is that you want them to do. Content, content, content in times like these.
Where do you see future opportunities? What are you doing in your career right now to take advantages of the future down the road?
It's important to know which industries are still holding meetings and what niches in your area are still hanging in there. And when it comes back, and it will soon, they're going to have to start doing the training because everybody's holding off right now. Everybody's afraid to spend money, but what's happening is all the sales are spiraling down because they're not well trained to sell, to market, to reach other communities. So recognize that that's going to happen. You've got to be flexible and ready to go when that happens, but also be ready to switch to another industry. So for example, if healthcare doesn't work for me, I'm already starting to position myself in the funeral industry because I figure that's not a dying business. Well, yeah, it is actually, but
He's plotting.
But that's a business that is going to continue as long as people have money.
Would you like to learn how to be an expert in an industry fast? I used to be very big in death care. I really did for many years. I was also very popular in the manufactured housing industry. And this is what I did. I was hired by a company to do a series of programs. And so what I did, I went out, I took a day in my life, and I went and called on 5 different manufactured housing sales offices with different companies. I pretended to be a customer. Then, when I gave my presentation, and they said, Tom Winninger's the industry expert, we just want you to do your normal program. But of course, my program was more up to date. I assume Winninger had done very much what I did years ago, but I have just done it recently. And for a time, because you get involved in an industry, people say, but we must have you because you're the expert. What you're doing is reporting on what you heard, what you saw, what they could have done better. And you know what the biggest problem, every time I've done this in any industry, same problem, we can learn from it. Admittedly, I was pretending to be a legitimate customer. But only 1 in 5 offices that I called on in any industry ever asked me for my contact information. Write this down. It is not your client or prospect's job to remember you. It is your obligation and responsibility to make sure they don't have the chance to forget you.